Now let me move to some maps to show the importance of Indian Ocean. As you could see, it is in the middle of the world and connects the Far East and the Far West. This map shows you the geopolitical significance of the Indian Ocean very clearly. And also the next map shows the geopolitical significance of Indian Ocean in terms of oil shipping lanes and the new strategy of China, string of pearls. Let me now move to the methodology that I have adopted to conduct the study. I followed a qualitative research method where I used a historical analytical approach to obtain the results. The main data sources that I have used to do the study are primary library research, published text including journals and newspapers. Also, I had discussions with academics and politically informed professionals. Critical reading and content analysis was used to obtain results. Now I'm moving to the most important part of my presentation, that is the main findings. Before I dwell into the main findings, I must say that the study is still in progress. So the findings that I'm presenting here are basically preliminary. Superpowers like US and regional powers like China and India compete for power in the global and regional theaters. They search for friendly states in this competition. This leads to global and regional geopolitical rivalry and draws other states into it. They also search geopolitically, geoeconomically, and geomilitarily significant spaces outside their sovereign boundaries. Some of these spaces become center of attraction or hubs geopolitically. Sri Lanka is one such state, and the Chinese-built Hambantota is one such hub located in the Indian Ocean. There's a picture on the screen. If you look at the picture, there are two persons standing in the sides, and a lot of people are lifting the weight of the planet Earth. Let's see who are these people standing aside. The person who's standing in the right-hand side of you is United States, and the person who's standing in the left-hand side of you is China. Let us now see the story behind this picture. As you all know, there is an emerging power game in the world between China and USA. It's a great game, which is too can be identified as a Cold War, an emerging Cold War. China and USA are the drivers of this great game, while other states are the players. Sri Lanka, as a small state, plays a major role in the game, but still, Sri Lanka is not a global player, but Sri Lanka is a regional player. This diagram too shows the major players of the emerging geopolitical rivalry in the Indian Ocean centered on Sri Lanka. USA, India, and China, these states are put pressure on Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is the player, and all the other states are the drivers. Now let me move to another interesting slide. Here you can see Dr. Manmohan Singh with President Obama. They are having a very close relationship here. And also, President Obama is having a very close relationship with Chinese people. That means, in this geopolitical rivalry, these three are the global players. India, China, and USA are the global players. There's a question mark. Where is Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka is having relationships, the official relationships, with China and India. When you look at the picture, you could clearly see that Sri Lanka still is not a global player in geopolitics. Sri Lanka is a regional player. Sri Lanka has never had official linkage with this global player, the superpower USA. So let us now move to the next slide. Here, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to place Sri Lanka in this competition. Post-war geopolitics brought Sri Lanka back into the center of Indian Ocean geopolitics. Both India and China is expanding its influence and power bases in the Indian Ocean. They are in a bid to attain supremacy in the Indian Ocean. India decisively influenced Sri Lankan geopolitics as it is located within the Indian sphere of influence. Chinese involvement, specifically in Hambantota, signals a threat to India to function as the leader of the region. China has become India's #1 security problem, and now it signals a regional Cold War, and Sri Lanka could find itself as a state in a shatter belt. Here, the word shatter belt is highlighted in red to show you the future challenge that we have in the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka may be heading to a dangerous geopolitical terra incognita. In conclusion, in Indian Ocean is a maritime arena where global and regional powers are busy making new alliances and strategic repositioning of their naval assets, along with building new capabilities. There's the real possibility that national and regional events could draw Sri Lanka into the center of this tri-party geopolitical rivalry. Understanding all sides of this struggle is very important for to place Sri Lanka safely within the geopolitical rivalry in the Indian Ocean. So let me now acknowledge the people who have helped me to do this study. Special thanks goes to Professor Shantha Hennaika for his excellent supervision and Dr. Nalini Hennaika for her conceptual guidance for the study. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The floor is open for questions, comments.
As the chair of the symposium, I would like to make this comment because Professor Hennanaika's favorite students on the one hand, and on the other hand, he is the supervisor of this. And I must say that I think whole audience or everybody in the audience in silent moment because you have made them silent through your presentation. Being the youngest presenter in this symposia, you have made a very good presentation. I must congratulate you first.
Thank you, sir.
And then, of course, there may be some issues with respect to your conclusion, but yet you have not I would say, not very much partial, but yet we have to think of your conclusion comparing various other things. But you have made your presentation very well, and of course it is going to be example for everybody, even elder people like me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Lieutenant Commander Karunasena. And Professor Hennaika also talk about the Indian political thinking, and India considered Sri Lanka to be a part of their military strategy, and China, they considered the Sri Lanka as one node of their string of pearl strategy. And now we came up with this US involvement and their vested interest in the Indian Ocean. And as you mentioned, that the theorist Alfred Thayer Mahan has said the Indian Ocean, the importance of the Indian Ocean. But at the end, you said that Sri Lanka will be leading to a geopolitical dilemma serious. But can't we be optimistic that how best we can benefit from this rivalry? For example, the more the Chinese invest in Sri Lanka, the better the Indian involvement, their foreign direct investment. Like when the US come into play, don't you think that we can be benefited from this? Thank you.
Yes, it's true. There are benefits, but the unspoken aspect of this is while we are benefiting, we are also facing some kind of, we call it incognitas, like we can't see where are we exactly going. And those are kind of future threats that we have. Like, yes, it is true that they come and invest in our country, but there is another challenge for Sri Lanka to have a balanced foreign policy, like to treat all of the countries in the same way. And also, China is the main threat to USA. So USA does not like to have China in Sri Lanka. So that is an unspoken aspect of this. So it's really beneficial for us to think about this and to go for a balanced foreign policy in Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you. Right. Thank you, Prabha.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay.